Good morning. Welcome to Farm and Home, brought to you by the University of Kentucky College of Agriculture Cooperative Extension Service. And now, here's your host.
Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles, and this morning we'll be visiting with Kevin Lyons. He's the Monroe County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Joanna.
Well, I'm glad you're here today because we're going to talk about still a very important crop to Kentucky, and that is tobacco.
It is still a very important crop in Kentucky, even though our production is down several percent from just a few years ago. It still means a lot to a lot of people in our area.
Definitely so. And unfortunately, we've been pushed back a little bit because of all the moisture and things that we've been having, which has caused kind of a problem with some of our disease control and disease management in our tobacco.
It certainly has. I know, and you've probably experienced the same thing. The last couple of weeks seemed like I had a lot of people call about problems in their greenhouses with their float beds, and the management of those is a little tricky sometimes for some people. Seems like, but it's the same. I've been seeing the same problems in all of these different farms, and it's kind of the same thing it was last year. A lot of problems with a disease we call target spot.
Now, if they have that, what can they do about it? I mean, is there something they can do?
There is. Target spot is it's a good way to describe it, is just exactly what it looks like. On the leaves are circles that look like a target that you would shoot at. They have rings in them, so that's a good way to identify it. And it's caused by a fungus. So a good fungicide that a lot of people have incorporated into their management program is Quadris. Normally you cannot use Quadris on a float bed system. You have to wait and use it in the field, but this problem has become so widespread that they've got a special exemption where Quadris is now available for producers to use on the float bed for target spot and other fungal diseases. So some of our producers are still not aware that that's available.
Oh, okay. So that's good information to know. And we got that exemption. Is it just for this year?
I think it runs through the end of 2013.
Okay. So they can use that because, you know, normally we don't have this much moisture in the spring, but the last 2 years have proven different, and so they might see this run into this problem again next year.
It's been really tough. Of course, funguses love this type of weather, wet, humid, warm. So they really just kind of exploded, it seems like, in just the last little bit. And producers need to stay on top of it because it can wipe it out really quickly. Plus, you carry that to the field. And last year at harvest time, a lot of our producers had their crop just about ready to harvest and take to the barn, and anywhere from a third to the bottom one half of the plant just burned up from target spot. So this helps that too, plus using the Quadris when you're out in the field.
Definitely so. So catch it early and make sure we don't extend that into. Now, I know Pythiums have been a problem every year, it seems like, in a float bed system, and we've been seeing a lot more of that this year?
A little bit more. Seems like it's a constant problem every year. TerraMaster is the product of choice, seems like, for that. It also cuts out on the green slime that you'll see in your water, but with Pythium, it just eats the roots off, and then, of course, that knocks the plant way back on viability when you take it to the field and production.
Definitely so, and if you set plants like that, unfortunately, the outcome's not going to be good.
They are more susceptible to other diseases, too, once you damage those roots with Pythium.
And we're already late in the season, Kevin, so when we actually get those plants in the ground, they need to be healthy and ready to get a good start.
They do, definitely so. It's just so much easier to start off with a good, healthy plant and just a good routine maintenance program with diethane or some of the streptomycins for bacterial diseases. They need to be up to date on what's available and be using those.
And kind of maintain a regular schedule with that,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Now, let's say we get them in the field. It looks like we might have some weather to do that. What are we concerned with in the field?
A couple of different things. Seems like we're getting to be more of a problem. We talked about the target spot in the field last year. Frog eye is also a fungal disease. It's a big problem. And all these diseases really cut your production. They'll attack the tissue and make a decay spot, and then that spot will fall out. And of course, you lose pounds when you lose that leaf material. So, and they can just seem like just explode, like we mentioned, and take over if you're not on top of it. Blue mold is another one that's a potential problem that the Quadris and Actigard is good for.
But thankfully, we do have good products. And if they have more questions, they can contact the Extension office.
Yes, they can. We'll be glad to help them.
All right. Well, thanks, Kevin, for giving us that information. And if you have questions or you're having some trouble in your float beds or in the field system, give the local extension office a call, and we'd be happy to help identify the problem and help you find a solution. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.